This is the story of a bar where, if you go outside, you get shot, but even if you stay inside, you're not safe either. It's like being stuck between a rock and a hard place. The story begins with a bar where a man named Sarju comes in. At the same time, another man is leaving the bar. The moment he steps outside, someone shoots him, and he dies instantly. Seeing this, everyone around panics and runs away. No one knows where the bullet came from, and the area turns completely silent. Inside the bar, many people are confused and scared. They don't know what to do. A man named Senther tries to call the police, but there's no network on his phone. Then, another man decides to step outside to check on the dead body. But as soon as he goes out, he gets shot too. The people inside the bar are terrified. They realize no one's phone has any signal. Inside the bar, there's a girl named Alina. She suggests they should check the news on TV. When they turn on the TV, they see the incident being reported live. There is no news on TV, and when the people look outside, both dead bodies are gone. Even the bloodstains are cleaned. No one understands what is happening. Senther says, "I think someone wants to make sure none of us leave this place." Then Sergio says, "Maybe one of us is the killer, or maybe one of us is a terrorist carrying a dangerous explosive. Maybe the police are waiting to shoot that person." Hearing this, a man named Nacho quickly hides his bag with his foot, but Sergio sees him doing this and tells everyone. They take Nacho's bag, and when they open it, they only find clothes and a hard disk. Nacho says, "There is nothing dangerous in it. I work in an ad company, and the hard disk contains my work files." But no one believes him. Elena destroys the hard disk, but nothing suspicious is inside. Nacho feels very sad. Then Nacho notices a briefcase on the counter. He asks everyone, "Whose briefcase is this?" At that moment, Sergio claims the briefcase is his. Before Sergio can grab the briefcase, the bar owner, Ampere, picks it up. Sergio tells her not to open it, but a man named Israel opens the briefcase. Inside, they find women's clothes. Before anyone can understand what's happening, they hear a strange noise from the bathroom. When they try to open the door, they realize it's locked from the inside. They somehow break the door and find a fat man lying unconscious on the floor. At the beginning of the story, this man had gone to the bathroom coughing and then passed out. Elena finds a large injection near him and picks it up. Suddenly, they hear the sound of vehicles outside. They run to the gate and see many army officers arriving. The officers' faces are completely covered. They pile up a bunch of tires, set them on fire, and then leave without saying anything. Everyone thought the army came to help, but they didn't. Right after that, the TV shows breaking news. A massive fire has spread in a large part of the city, and the area is sealed off. No one can enter or leave. The people inside the bar don't understand why the government is lying. Then, the unconscious man suddenly wakes up. His body swells up terribly. His eyes look scary and unnatural, and he dies right in front of them. They check his phone and discover he was an army officer. The phone has pictures of people wearing protective suits to avoid a virus. Everyone in the bar finally realizes the entire area is quarantined. The man who just died was infected, and the infection killed him. It also means more people inside the bar might already be infected. Meanwhile, Nacho keeps trying desperately to get a signal on his phone. Nacho climbs onto a table and raises his phone high, finally getting a signal. He tells everyone, and they ask him to call the media and explain everything. But then Center also climbs onto the table to talk on the phone, and the table breaks. A man named Andres asks Nacho for the phone, but Ampere stops him. She warns everyone not to touch the phone because it belonged to the infected man. If they touch the phone, they might get infected too. Sergio and Andres agree with her. This means Nacho and everyone else who touched the infected man or his phone might already be infected, 5 people in total. Andres points a gun at them and forces them to take the infected man's dead body to the basement storage room. The 5 infected people have no choice but to follow his orders. Now, only 3 people are left upstairs. After some time, a woman named Trini starts feeling suffocated. She begs them to open the basement door, but no one listens. When Trini tries to open the door herself, she accidentally knocks over some bottles, and liquid starts spilling on the floor. They notice a drainage hole and realize they can escape through the water pipes. Israel opens the drain cover and decides to escape through it. He covers his body with oil and tries to squeeze through, but the drain is too narrow and he gets stuck. Suddenly, they hear gunshots. Terrified, they see smoke rising from the bar above. They realize the 3 people upstairs have been killed and the bar has been set on fire. Meanwhile, Israel is still stuck in the drain, struggling to get out. The others manage to pull him out after a few hours. Once the fire burns out, they decide to go back upstairs. When they return to the bar, they see it completely destroyed. Everything is burned to ashes. Nacho quietly picks up a gun he finds in the wreckage. They then notice people outside, silently sealing the entire area. The survivors stay completely quiet, knowing that if anyone outside discovers they are still alive, they might be killed too. If anyone finds out they are still alive, they will be killed too. Suddenly, a phone starts ringing. It's the phone of the infected man who had just died. Alina picks it up and starts reading his WhatsApp chats. In the chats, someone asks the man if he felt better after taking the vaccine. The man had replied that he was feeling very sick and was hiding in a public restroom. He had told the other person not to come near him. Alina checks the older messages, where the man had written that he still had 4 doses left. The group realizes that the injection he had must be the vaccine for the virus. They feel hopeful that the vaccine might save them, but they still wonder why the man died even after taking it. The phone starts ringing again, but before they can answer, the battery dies. They try to find a way to charge the phone. Meanwhile, Alina reminds them that the man had mentioned he had 4 doses left, so they decide to search for the vaccines. They go to the basement storage room where the man's body is, but they don't find any vaccines there. Then they check the restroom, where they see Israel sitting with the vaccines. Israel tells them that one of them must sacrifice themselves because there are 5 people but only 4 doses. Without waiting, Israel takes 1 dose and injects himself. Nacho points a gun at him, but Israel still injects the vaccine. Nacho and Israel start fighting. Israel overpowers Nacho and snatches the gun from him. During the fight, the remaining vaccines fall into the basement drain. Trini goes to pick up the vaccines, but accidentally drops them into the sewage pipe. The group panics, wondering how they'll retrieve the vaccines. Since Alina is the thinnest, they ask her to go inside the drain. At first, Alina refuses, but then she agrees. They cover her body with oil to help her slide through the narrow drain. After struggling for a while, Alina reaches the bottom and finds the vaccines. She carefully climbs out of the water. Nacho suggests tying the vaccines to a wire and sending them up, but Alina refuses. She knows there are 3 people left upstairs, and only 3 doses remain. She tells them that if they want the vaccines, they must come down to her. The group starts widening the drainage hole to climb down. Meanwhile, Alina searches for an exit. After walking for a while, she sees a light. She hides the vaccines in a small hole and climbs up a ladder. When she peeks outside, she sees a large police force burning the bodies of their 3 dead companions in the bar. The scene cuts here, leaving the fate of the survivors uncertain. It shows that the 4 people who were in the storeroom somehow make their way down. Israel and Nacho start fighting again, and this time, Nacho grabs the gun and shoots Israel to death. Now that Nacho has the gun, everyone fears him. Nacho points the gun at Centaur and tells Alina to give him the vaccine. He says, "We have 3 vaccines, and after killing him, the 3 of us can survive." Alina leads them to the place where she had hidden the vaccines. Slowly, they keep moving forward, Nacho and Alina in the front, with Centaur and Trini following behind. Suddenly, Trini tries to drown Centaur in the water to solve the problem for good. Nacho stops Trini, but she tells him to shoot her so that they can share the vaccines and survive. Nacho points the gun at her, but he can't bring himself to shoot. Trini takes the gun, walks away, and ends her life. Now only 3 people are left, and they have exactly 3 vaccines. Each person takes 1 dose, but before they inject themselves, Israel, who is somehow still alive, returns and attacks them. Furious, Israel goes after Nacho and Alina. Nacho and Alina spot a staircase and start climbing it, but Alina accidentally drops her vaccine. Since Israel is also climbing the stairs, they can't go back down to get it. Nacho quickly gives his own vaccine to Alina. Israel grabs Nacho's leg, pulling both of them down, and they die from the fall. Alina, now with the last vaccine, injects herself, opens the drain cover, and escapes outside. She sees many people around, and the government has completely sealed the area. A woman covers Alina with her jacket, and Alina, still in shock, quietly blends into the crowd. In the end, it's revealed that the infected man who died in the restroom was an army officer. It's possible that the army was creating a biological weapon to use against enemy nations, but during the process, one of their own officers got infected. Although they had a vaccine, the officer was already very sick, so the vaccine didn't work on him. When the army learned their infected officer was outside, they sealed the entire area to make sure the virus wouldn't spread, even if it meant killing innocent people.